Hi everyone, welcome to another Fastpitch Live here at Ripit HQ. I'm Gabby, the VIP manager here at Ripit, and with me today is Kristine Dolunt from PFX Athletics. How are you feeling?
Good, how are you?
We're so glad to have you on. So Kristine is the program coordinator at PFX Athletics, and their mission is to basically open doors for opportunities for the girls through softball. And she works a lot with clinics, tournaments, events, and I know you've also worked with pro players and travel ball players as well.
Yeah,
So we're really excited to have you on.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, and Kristine is going to be giving some insights in a previous event that they had called Practice with the Pros. So there's a lot of girls having opportunities to work with pro players and just being able to share your experience as well as a softball player before and also coaching. And Kristine, did you want to kind of give a brief overview about yourself?
So I'm originally from Michigan,
Yeah.
and I moved to Florida about 3 years ago, and I started working at PFX. I heard about PFX when I was playing in college. My team actually came down and played at the spring games, which we host every year. So I played at the spring games, and I coached at the spring games, and then it's kind of come full circle, and now I work at PFX, and I help out at the spring games, and I love it.
That's awesome. And how long have you been playing softball?
I started when I was about 5. I started with t-ball, and then I moved out to like coach's pitch. Things have changed a lot now, and everyone just starts playing when they're like 8 years old. But back when I was 8, that's not how it worked.
Oh,
So, and then I did coach's pitch, and then I played through elementary school, middle school. I played in high school, and then I went on to play in college. So it's been a long time.
So she has a lot of experience, guys. So definitely don't forget to click the share button and invite a coach and parent to tune in, because I believe you're going to be sharing a lot of good nuggets throughout the show. That's very exciting. And also, I know we talked a little bit because a lot of our local teams as well go to the practices and the clinics and all of that. And I think you mentioned how you've seen a lot of Ripit products, right?
Yeah, so I see a lot of the girls wearing the face masks. That's probably the biggest Ripit product that I see is I'd say 8 out of 10 players, especially the younger ones, are wearing a Ripit face mask. And then we also see some of the helmets and the bat bags are starting to become a lot more common, seeing those. So.
Cool. So today's giveaway is going to be our bat bag. And this bag definitely, I think we made it a couple years ago with our VIP teams, but we've got a lot of good feedback. I mean, what have you heard about the bags?
It fits pretty much everything. I've seen that even if you're a catcher, you can fit all of your equipment in there.
I've heard that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of room for everything.
Right. Definitely spacious. And there's even a compartment where you can put your cleats as well. A little pocket here, because I know some girls like to put their phone or their jewelry, from their necklaces, their earrings, and all of that.
That's cute.
Yeah, and
I like the quote.
Yes, there's a quote as well in here. So we try to customize it, for the girls to be relatable to them. But if you want a chance to win this backpack, all you have to do is click the share button and tag on the comments below a coach or a parent. And you'll have the opportunity to win this backpack. And the winner's going to be chosen this coming Friday. So, yeah, we're very, very excited to be able to connect more, with people like you and other people in the softball community as well. So it's very exciting. And I know you just had the Practice the Pros event.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this was our 3rd year of doing Practice with the Pros, and so basically what we do is we bring in anywhere between 8 and 10 pro softball players, whether they play in the National Fastpitch Pro League or Team USA, and we bring them in for 3 days to do a 3-day clinic with the girls. So they focus on hitting, fielding, pitching, catching. We have mentoring opportunities, so each athlete that's in attendance gets to spend one-on-one time with the professional players, and it's just a really unique experience for them to be able to see these players that they watch on TV and that they idolize, and to work with them one-on-one and just realize like they're just normal people.
That's
and
good.
They make mistakes, and they've kind of been through the same struggles that our younger athletes are going through.
Yeah.
So it's really good for them to be able to relate to them and just kind of like, have that one-on-one time that most people don't ever get.
Right, definitely. I remember we just recently did a video shoot with Rip It, and we had Bianca Bell and Jessie as well, Jessie Warren.
Yeah, they were both there, and they're definitely fan favorites. So they have really good personalities, and they do a good job interacting with the girls and making sure that they're having a good time.
That's great. And so how often does the practice of the pros happen?
It's once a year, and it happens between Christmas and New Year's, so it's over Christmas break.
Okay.
That's really the only time that the pros are free. A lot of them are either coaching in college, or some of them have full-time jobs, and then in the summers they're playing and they're traveling, so there really isn't a good time. So that's really when we do it, between Christmas and New Year's. So we do it for 3 days, and it's like, I think it's like 15 hours of instruction with the pros, so it's a lot of time.
That's an awesome experience that you guys are opening up to the girls. So for you coaches and parents that are watching, if you have any questions for Kristine, we're going to be taking in questions throughout the show. So just comment below any questions you have for her. She's also played softball. She organizes a lot of tournaments, a lot of clinics that happen. And if you need also events as well that you want to know what's coming up at PFX, they're local here, in Claremont, right?
Claremont, yep.
So for our local VIP teams, if you guys are watching, you're welcome to comment in and see what events are coming up. And actually, while I'm talking about the VIP program, if you're not in our VIP program, you can sign up at ripitvip.com. But here at Rip It, we work a lot. We work closely with coaches, parents, and players. And so when you're in the program, you have opportunities to test out products, share feedback, and really come alongside of us to help make amazing products for these girls. Mm-hmm. And that's what really our heart is being able to be a voice for the softball community and be able to make products that they need. Things that how much better can we get from hearing directly from the girls?
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, and I think we already have some coaches coming on. We see here Kim Barefoot. I don't know if you know her.
Yes, I know her.
She says, Coach Dolunt and PFX truly are out to impact young women in the community and promote softball. Love her. Awesome. You're already getting some supporters. Ryan, thanks for tuning in again. Ryan says, yeah, he needs 14 of those backpacks. And Coach West, thanks for tuning in as well. He's also part of Wildfire. I think you mentioned that some of the girls there were at the clinic. So that's exciting. And we'll also comment later on and put a link to PFX Athletics so you can see their schedule and kind of, things that are going on. But I know spring games are also coming up, right? Around March.
Yes. So the spring games is the world's largest collegiate softball event, and we host that. This is going to be the 12th year.
Wow.
So it starts February 22nd, so 19 days, and it runs through the end of March. So we will be welcoming in 389 college teams from across the country to come and play basically their spring break down here. So they can't play up north.
Right.
Obviously it's snowing and it's like
negative, good thing about Florida.
Negative 30 degrees. So they come down here and they play their games. And what we do for PFX is we have different programs that matches the youth athletes up with the college teams. So we have our one program we have is Adopt a Team, which some of your Rip It VIP teams are participating in, the Wildfire and the Lady Hawks. So a college team, we partnered them up with a youth team, and they do a video exchange, care package exchange. So the college team will send them some like shirts or just some swag, letters. And then when the college team is in town, we schedule up like a meet and greet. So the girls can interact with each other and just, it gives them an opportunity to see a different team that they might not have ever heard of. And the college teams really enjoy making an impact on youth teams and sharing their knowledge and their love of the game. So that's one of the programs that we do. Another program that we do is our Back Row program. So that is really for any age, depending on what your age is going to depend on what you get out of it. But we match up a youth player with a college team and as a back row. So they get to sit in the dugout, spend time in the dugout, interact with the players. And it's a real game, so nothing's really sugar-coated. So as, if you're an older athlete, you can see how the college girls interact with each other, examples of what a good teammate looks like, what a not so good teammate looks like, how the coaches interact with the players, how the coaches coach on the field,
Yeah.
many different aspects of the game, and it can give, as an older player who's looking to go to college,
Right.
you know, that's the type of coach I'd like to play for, or that's the type of teammate I'd like to be. For the younger girls, it's more of just an opportunity to see what it takes to play at the next level and what all goes into it that they might not have, you know, ever seen before. So it's really unique that we have all of these teams coming in and the
Yeah.
opportunity for, you know, our Central Florida athletes to be able to have this type of experience and interaction with schools and coaches and
Yeah.
players that they might not have ever heard of before.
Right.
It's really cool, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback from people who have participated in the
Yeah,
past.
I like the fact that they get to glean from an actual game, you know, and
Mhm.
see the real thing and be able to apply that. That's like,
Yeah.
I think, a very unique experience. And you've been able to, you know, witness all of this. What is one of the big takeaways that you see these girls get from these type of events or clinics?
I would have to say that these athletes that they look up to are human too, and they're not perfect. I think that in this day and age, there's so much pressure put on our young athletes. You know, girls are committing to college when they're 12, 13 years old, and the ones who aren't, then they feel that added pressure, like, well, am I not good enough, or do I not have what it takes? And you do have what it takes. Some people develop early, some people develop later. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun and you're supposed to enjoy it.
Right.
And I think being with, you know, older girls or the pros and seeing how much fun that they're having, but also knowing that they make mistakes and watching them make mistakes and seeing how they respond, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And so I think that would have to be the biggest thing that I think our athletes take away from it, is just learning that it's okay to make mistakes. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
It happens to even the best of the best,
Yeah.
and you're going to be okay.
That's good. That's good. And so if you guys are watching and you've been just encouraged by what Kristine is saying and learning insights, don't forget to click the share button and invite, you know, coaches and parents to tune in as well. But yeah, that's amazing that the girls are able to see, because it's true, when they think of a pro player, they idolize them, and they may not realize that they too can have mistakes and how to overcome that.
Yeah.
And so what are some common mistakes you see, you know, players have that go to these clinics and everything?
I think the biggest thing that I see with pretty much everyone is they're very, they rush through everything. So they don't take their time when, you know, if we say, okay, you're going to get 10 swings off the tee. It's okay, they just start swinging as fast as they can, and it's like, okay, wait a second, slow down, like, let's focus on our mechanics versus how many we can get. I always tell the girls, it's the quality versus quantity. So you want to make sure that your swings are good and you're getting something out of it, versus saying, okay, well, I went in the garage and I took 50 swings tonight.
So they're trying to just get
right,
through
but
everything.
only 5 of those swings were actually what we had been working on. I'd rather you take 20 swings and have them be good and focus on what you need to be focusing on, versus taking 50 and only having 5 or 6 of them be good swings.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I've noticed a lot, is it's like everything's a race, and we really just kind of need to slow down and focus on the mechanics and what we're doing and how our body feels and why we're doing it. There's always a reason for everything that we do,
Yeah.
and to take the time why we're doing it and really understanding it, and then when they're on their own, they can take what they learned and they'll be able to implement that.
Right, to practice what they learned there. Yeah. And do you guys ever cover anything like mental? I know a lot of people say softball is also like a mental game
Yes,
as well.
so especially with Practice with the Pros, we had a whole station, so 30 minutes dedicated to just the mental approach.
Wow.
One day we focused on your approach when you go up to the plate. So what are you thinking? What is your routine? And then we also did more of like a failure recovery. So, you know, if you make an error, if the ball goes between your legs, how are you going to come back after that? And if you see your teammate being down, how can you respond to pick them back up? Everybody responds to things differently, so it's learning, you know, your certain teammates. But when you're at a young age, it's more difficult to pick your teammate up when you're feeling down too. So if your team's down by, 6 runs, everybody, the energy all kind of goes down, and you need those few people to be able to lift everybody back up. So At Practice with the Pros, they focused a lot on energy level and how important it is to keep your energy up the whole time. Fake it till you make it. So even if you don't have the energy, you just need to pretend, and eventually it's contagious and everybody will catch on.
That's good. And do you see that also a huge need for older players as well, or is that more for like a younger player?
It's definitely for older players as well. When you get to college and you're playing a doubleheader, you could technically be at the fields for 7-8 hours. And that's when you're finished, you should be exhausted. If your energy level was up the entire time, you should be very tired. It's hard, younger girls, they're doing a lot of cheering, so that helps keep the energy up.
Right.
But when you get to that like 15, 16, 17 stage, they're not cheering as much, and it's kind of, the energy is kind of just more of a roller coaster. So we really focus on keeping the energy up the whole time because it's contagious.
Yeah. Awesome. So if you guys are just tuning in, we have Kristine here from PFX Athletics. You are welcome to comment in your questions that you have for her. Glean from her while we have her here. She has a lot of information. She also played softball, also coached during college, and now is a program coordinator and works a lot with pro players, travel ball players. So you guys have the opportunity to kind of glean from her. And so I know you told me that you've coached softball and you played softball, which is amazing. And we always like to glean, and we want to know, how has softball impacted your life, where you are today?
Well, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at today without softball. It pretty much has shaped me into the person that I am. I've learned at a really young age, teamwork and discipline and accountability. And I think that, what you learn from softball doesn't just affect you on the field, it carries over into your everyday life.
Right.
So the first thing that we teach our girls when they come to clinics is to make eye contact with the person that they're talking to and to give them a firm handshake.
Wow, that's good.
It's going to make you stand out, and if you're teaching that when they're 8, 9 years old, they're going to carry that on when they're in high school and college and when they're going for their job interview.
Yeah.
So we really like to grow them up, basically, and teach them skills that are not only going to help them become better athletes and leaders, but help them in the real world. And that's definitely what I have gotten out of softball from a very young age, is accountability. Like, if you don't have your glove, you forget your shoes,
that's true.
Like, that's on you.
Responsibility too.
I can't, you're not going to play then,
Yeah.
And carrying your own bat bag, like, carry your own bat bag from the car to the dugout and back. It's your equipment. You should take care of it. Don't throw your equipment.
Right.
It costs a lot of money, and that's another thing that I really try to make sure the girls are aware that softball's not cheap.
Right.
And your parents pay a lot of money for you to be able to have nice equipment and uniforms and to play in these tournaments. And the best thing that you can do for them is treat your equipment good. And not be like throwing your gloves and your helmets, and just take pride in your equipment, take pride in yourself, and it's respect to the game and to your team and to your coaches.
So that's good, and I agree. We did a video a couple years ago with it, and we kind of asked the girls how has softball helped you grow, and a lot of them said confidence. Kind of what you're saying, learning at a young age what it means, to go out there and handshake, coach, talk. It's teaching them building that confidence as they go out, and even supporting one another too.
And with teamwork, you row by your boss, and obviously you always get along with your coworker, but it doesn't mean that you quit because there's a little bit of, you have to figure out how to work it, and you're gonna have teammates sometimes that you don't mesh well with, but it doesn't mean that you just don't talk to them or you don't let them be part of what you're doing. You have to figure out a way to work together, and I think teamwork is something that goes with you for the rest of your life. Being able to learn that at a very young age is just extremely important to help them as they continue to grow and when they're on future teams.
Right, and also I would think even leadership roles as well, where you have your own role.
Yes.
And being able to learn what that is. And I know at Ripple we're working on creating kind of like a leadership program with our VIP teams, where we get to kind of take women like you, other women who are now in the career field, but kind of gleaning from you and learning, what does it mean to be a leader? How has softball helped you? And so, because we see the effects of it, not just on the field, but like you said, off the field, for your careers, or even, college prep, responsibility.
Right.
Simply, that is really good.
Yeah.
So, and we actually have people coming in. So, do you know, Lee, Lee Liddick,
Yes.
he's commenting in. Oh, he says tech support help. So I hope the audio is working. And we have Magdalena. Thanks for tuning in. She has a question. She says, what position did you play?
I played outfield.
Okay, and same thing in college as well?
Yeah, when I first started playing, I tried to be a catcher, but they didn't have equipment that fit me very well, so that lasted about a couple innings, and then we cut that, and then I played a little bit of infield when I was younger, and then I moved out to the outfield.
Oh, okay. And how was that like? What was your favorite like position? Or what you would?
I liked being in the outfield. It's when you're younger, people don't really value outfield as much. The ball doesn't get hit out there as much. But for me, like I just liked it. I was fast and I liked chasing the ball down and being able to make diving catches and stuff. So I liked outfield a lot.
Cool. And if you guys have more questions, feel free to comment. And we have Ali says, really like what Coach Dolunt does with PFX Athletics and their offerings to Central Florida. Definitely agree. Love what you're all doing. Let's see. Okay. No, people are just commenting on the tech support and everything like that. So it looks like everything's good. And then we have Aaron Wells who says Kristine is the best.
Thanks.
That is awesome. Great. No, but I'm really glad that you get to kind of glean and share your experience too. And how has playing softball helped you with actually coaching these girls?
I've been able to take the drills that I have learned and that coaches have worked with me on, and I've been able to implement that in our clinics and camps. And there's also things that, every player is different. So some drills work for some players and some drills don't work for some players, and they're just not going to get something out of it. So being able to learn the athlete and learning from when I played and my teammates and what worked, what didn't work, what we really looked forward to doing in practice and things that we didn't look forward to doing in practice. So, my goal is to make sure that if there's a 2-hour clinic that we're going the whole time and we're getting a lot out of it and it's productive and that the girls are learning but having fun. I don't want them to ever be bored or feel like, okay, we always do this. At the same time, little things make a big difference. So things in practice like, when they warm up their arms or doing wrist flicks or something like that may seem tedious, but ultimately it needs to be done in order to reach your highest level. Because when the game's on the line and you make a silly mistake, if you would have maybe worked on that in practice and focused on it instead of just going through the motions, maybe we would have made that play and the result would have been a little bit different. So for me, just kind of being able to take what I learned, and the game's constantly evolving, I'm constantly learning still, and being able to take that and implement it into our young athletes it's really good.
That's good. And so it sounds like there's some drills that you have to consistently keep on doing, and then some drills that you can kind of change up.
Yeah, so this is, you want to always keep it interesting, but there's certain things that I always work with. So for example, like with our hitters, we always work when we swing off a tee. We always start by just getting to the contact point first, and then we work on getting to extension, and then we go into our full swings. So we just make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success versus just jumping in and doing full swings right away. So those things are mechanics that are going to help make your full swing better. So we focus on those things first. But sometimes we want to get in the cages and we just want to start swinging away right away before we're truly warmed up.
Awesome. Great feedback. Guys, don't forget to click the share button. Kristine's sharing really great things. So we have here, Magdalena asks, she says, what university or high school would you suggest from Lakeland, Florida, based on academics and sports? Are you familiar with that area?
I am not really familiar with that area, but I would say academics is what you need to focus on. Softball will come, but at the end of the day, we're all going to school for a career, and most of us are not going to be professional softball players. So when you're picking a school, you need to pick it based on the academic program, and then that goes the same for college, and then the softball program will come.
That's true. That's a good point, because I know you could also play on a travel team too.
Yes.
I know a lot of people play high school and travel, so you can do that.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And then Nicole, sounds like she knows you.
Yeah, she does.
She says, Kristine, a student of mine came to me today, very excited to tell me about the free clinic at PFX. She had a great time and can't wait to start playing ball.
Awesome.
Yeah, you were just telling me
Awesome.
last night you had a free clinic
Yes,
that you
we did. So we try to do a free clinic every 2-3 months, just to get girls in the community to come out and kind of just give back. And so last night we had a free clinic, and I think we had about 14 girls there. We had some wildfire girls wearing the ribbit stuff.
Go
And
wildfire.
some other girls. So it was fun. We just, it's very basic, but it's just to kind of do some different drills that they might not have seen before, and just put them in a situation where they can be comfortable. There's so much pressure sometimes with being on competitive teams, and they kind of takes the fun out of it sometimes, because it's just a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So I like to create a situation where they're comfortable, but we're also getting them out of their comfort zone. So it's a healthy mix, and just gives them, another opportunity to come out and get better.
That's awesome. I really love how PFX offers that, though, to the community. So if you're not familiar, I know a lot of tournaments still happen there, but you can go to their website. We're going to put it in the comments below, but it's PFX Athletics. So I love just the clinics and the resources that you're giving out to the community. And then we say here, Erin says, Kristine has taught my daughter the fundamentals of being a good team player and a professional on the field. Very true. I like what you were sharing earlier. Really good.
Thank you.
So Lee says, best advice for a rec ball player who wants to reach higher levels for softball play through preparing them to travel. Oh, looks like he's asking you a question. So he says, do you have advice for a rec player who wants to go to that next level?
I would say just continuing to, put in the work, go to clinics if you can, and just be confident. Like, if it's something that you want, you'll be able to make it happen, and not get so caught up in what everybody else is doing. So as a rec ball player, embrace the fact that you're a rec ball player and you're playing in the rec league, and be the best player in that league that you can. It doesn't matter that the rest of your friends are playing travel. That's what they're doing, and this is what you're doing. So if you continue to focus on your fundamentals, mechanics, getting better, and just be the best rec ball player you can be, and when your time comes, you'll be able to step into that role on the travel team, and you'll have made it.
I like that. Just focusing on where you're at and being the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Stay in the moment.
Yes. And we have one more question for the show. So Magdalena asked, have you ever received a scholarship or grant for school? So assuming for college.
Yes, I did receive a scholarship when I went to go play in college. I will say, scholarships are great, but you want to make sure that you're not going, where the money is, and you want to make sure that the school is a right fit for you academically, and then that the softball program is a good fit for you athletically. The right fit will be out there. You just have to find it, and you don't ever want to settle just because one school is going to offer you a certain amount of money. You really want to do your research on the school, make sure they have your academic program, and then do your research on the athletic program, and then make sure that the two line up. And you'll know when the two line up, and that will be the school that you want to go to.
That's awesome. Well, Kristine, thank you so much for all these tips and insights that you shared. So guys, don't forget to click that share button so that we can really get the word out, get PFX out there, and also for people to tune into our shows. We're going to be having these shows every Wednesday, except next week we will not be having a show. We're going to be taking a slight break because I am unfortunately transitioning out.
No.
Yes, definitely going to, softball will always be in my heart, Rip It will always be, but I am moving on to do, pursuing a nonprofit organization. So I'm going to be doing more of that work there. So I won't be hosting these shows, but we will be having Brandon as our producer, and we'll also be having other hosts on the show.
Well, the softball community will definitely miss you.
Yes, but thank you so much for being on. And don't forget as well, I mentioned this earlier in the video, but we are doing this backpack giveaway. This backpack has definitely received a lot of feedback.
Mm-hmm.
The durability. It also has a removable panel, so you can customize your team information there. But to win this, all you have to do is click the share button and tag a parent or coach on the comments below. But Kristine, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
everything.
for having me.
So we'll see you all not next week, but the week after. Bye, guys.